G'day boys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Uncaged Expeditions. Geez, it feels like it's been forever since I've made a video, and you know what, it has been a while and I'm sorry about that. But what I've got for you today is a video that I actually filmed before I did my 3-month trip with my family. For those of you that do know, I took 3 months off. We did Outback South Australia, a little bit of NT, headed over into WA, and then came back via the Nullarbor and everything. Did some fantastic places. If you follow me on Instagram, there's videos, photos and that going up on there. Look, I kind of took a break from all social media for a while, especially while I was away. Just wanted to concentrate on spending time with my family, my kids. That was the most important thing. I'm sure everyone can understand and appreciate that. But look, I've got this video. I wanted to put it out before I went away. Didn't make it, wasn't able to edit it before then, but hey, I've got a video for you now. So please watch, enjoy. It was actually a really good trip. Some really bad weather at stages 2, but it just made it more interesting. Now I am going to try and make some more videos a little bit more frequently now. It's hard to do it because we're still locked up like chooks down here in Victoria. But I'll make a couple. I've got a few exciting things happening with the car, giving it a freshen up. She's clocked over 200,000 Ks and hasn't missed a beat. And you know what, just making a few changes. I'll give you a quick glimpse. For the keen eyes, there's a couple of things missing or changes, so I'm sure you will see them. Don't ask questions. There's videos coming. Videos and photos, okay? So give you something to kind of keep an eye out for. And yeah, I'll try and make some content a bit more frequently than every... Geez, when was my last video? Maybe 4 or 5 months ago? Maybe? Jeez, I'm sorry guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this one. Cheers. G'day and welcome to another episode of Uncaged Expeditions. And boy, have I got a drive for you today. Actually, I'm there now. I'm at the top of Blue Rag Range Track, one of the most scenic, beautiful tracks in the high country. Now, if you haven't noticed, I'm standing under the door of my canopy because it's raining and the weather is not too crash hot. But let me take you out. Let's have a quick glimpse. Actually, before I show you the view, let's go to the start and show you how I got here. Let's do that. Let's go. Now just at the bottom of Blue Rag Range Track, just about to head up there, and you know, I thought may as well have some breakfast. I stayed in Smoko last night, the campground there by the river, beautiful, but the weather all night last night was raining, excuse me, and today hasn't been the best. It's really windy in certain sections. I'm going to try get the drone up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'll give it a go. And I don't know, normally this is the best view in the high country. If you don't know about this track, check it out. You're driving on the ridge tops right on top of everything, and there's a cliff on either side. Absolutely spectacular, and the view is normally unbelievable. But with the weather we're having, I don't know if we're going to get any of that view. But either way, it's going to be spectacular. The track up normally isn't that difficult. They say it gets more difficult if it's wet. Rained all last night. Not recommended to do it by yourself. I'm doing it by myself. Hey, but that's the uncaged way, isn't it? But anyway, I'm going to have a bite to eat. Made a couple of sandwiches, grab my V and hit the road. And there is the sign you want to see. Now, just getting onto the Blue Rag, and straight away you start climbing. I'm in second gear, low range, right from the start with this. I've aired down. I've got my front tyres at, I think it was 18, my rear at 28, just because there's a lot more weight in the rear. And look, don't look at PSI as a rule of thumb. What I basically do is I let them out. I know roughly where my tyres and my truck needs to be, but you look for the ballooning effect of the tyre, and that's what you're really going for, just getting more traction and making it harder for any rocks or anything to pierce it or get a puncture or anything like that. But this track, geez, I haven't driven it in years, but it's probably one of the most scenic and most spectacular tracks in the high country. It's not the hardest, but it's just nice. It's comfortable and really gives you a feel that you're in the high country. Love this track. With this track, you're either going up, down, or you got cliff faces on both sides. It is beautiful, absolutely stunning. The track starts off at about 1,600 meters, so you know that it's just going to be an unbelievable track. Wow, check that out. I don't know if it's coming out on the GoPro there, but this is the high country. This is what the high country is all about with its tracks. Now, gonna start heading down now, but as you can see in the distance, you can see those cars that just reached the top there. Unbelievable. That's why a lot of the times when you come out here and you do these unbelievable tracks, at the end of it, you know, if there's a group of you, or even if you're by yourself, you know what I mean, you've got such a sense of accomplishment, you're high-fiving each other. It's like, wow, what an absolute cracker of a track. Not because it's difficult, although if it rains, it could become very difficult. But just because this is it. This is the high country, just does not get any better than this for scenic four-wheel drive tracks. You have to come and try this track. Going down these tracks, first gear, low range, like I'm holding myself up with a steering wheel. If not, my seatbelt would be just locking me in place. It is steep. Nearly up at the top, and have a look at this. And the trig point's right up the top there. A track not for the faint-hearted. Beautiful. Let's finish this. The view from up here is absolutely spectacular, but the rain has started again. Just my luck. Have a look. There's the Trig point marker. Some idiot drove on not that long ago. But have a look at that view. Have a look at that view. Whoa, look at that view. Well, let me go under the canopy door again, but jeez. This bloody rain. This weekend, I've been saying I'm going to come out and do this track for how long? And all the weeks have been beautiful. The week that I decided to go, New South Wales has copped it. They've got flooding and everything that's ridiculous. Here we're expecting, I don't know, 30 mil or something in the next day or two. Just bloody hectic. But the view from up here is probably one of the best views you're going to get in the Victorian High Country. There is also, what's that other one called? The Pinnacles Lookout. Can't think of the track name, but anyway. That lookout there is spectacular as well, but this one here, the drive up especially, you're on the ridge in between the two cliffs, and it is spectacular. It just adds another element to it. This is the high country. This is pure high country. It is beautiful. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts snowing now because it's bloody cold. Anyway, I think it's time to go down and see where I'm going to camp tonight. I haven't really made any plans. Look, there's not going to be any new campsites in this video from as far as I can think of. Because I do want to go to Wanangata Station before we leave. Anyway, that's another little piece of advice or a little bit of information that I'm going to pass out a little bit later on. But you know what? Let's get out of this bloody weather. Maybe I should put some pants on too. Bloody cold. Anyway, let's get down to some normal levels and let's leave here before the track becomes too wet, because it could become a bit interesting in the wet. Nothing that the cruiser can't handle, come on, jeez. If I was driving a patrol, maybe. No, I'm joking, I like patrols too, don't worry. But I love my cruisers. Anyway, enough talking rubbish, let's get down. Now just driving from Blue Rag to probably Wanangata Station. Got down to about 1,200 metres or so at the moment, and they're just fog, a lot of fog. Still on the Dargo High Plains Road, which is very easy going. It's about 60 odd k's to Wanangata Station. The GPS is saying that it's 8 hours away, but obviously it's not going to take 8 hours. They just can't calculate dirt roads or tracks. Ooh, excuse me, I'm really tired actually. I think I might have an early night tonight. You guys doing a burn off around there, are ya? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going Wanangata Station, that'll be alright? Yeah. Beauty. See you guys. Turned off from Dargo High Plains Road onto McMillan's Road. It's the same track that you take that's going to Talbotville. But then we turned off onto Collingwood Spur track. It said 4-wheel drive only. Give it a go, why not? The problem with a lot of these tracks up here is the ground gets really slippery. It's like a clay base kind of thing. So when it gets wet, it gets really slippery. But yeah, out for an adventure. It's what it's all about. The fog is still really hanging around, which is just making it beautiful, very scenic. past all the forest management. There's the fire section, fire management, whatever they're called. Had a quick chat with them. They're doing burn-offs around here. I told them that I'm going further in towards Wonnegata Station, and they said I'll be fine. I hope they're right. But no, they had a couple of Unimogs there. Oh. You know what? I see a lot of the older Unimogs, and I've always told Josie, okay, listen, I think I want to buy a Unimog, but I don't want one of the old ones, I want one of the new ones. Problem is, you try to find one to actually have a look at it. But driving through there, they had a couple of them there, and are they impressive machines. They're massive. They're much bigger than the old ones. Josie may not be happy with me when I go home and start saying maybe it's time we buy one. But there's always been a thing in my head where should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? I don't know. They cost a lot of money. One. And I don't know, you're not really going to drive her around as a daily. The thing's a massive truck. But how cool. I don't know, I reckon one day I'll bite the bullet and just buy one. Oh well, let's just keep driving. Keep your mind on the track and the forward driving. Get it off Unimogs. That's what Josie would be saying anyway. Oh, getting a bit slippery now. Let me turn on the other camera so you can have a look at the view. Okay, I've come up to a really steep section here, and it's wet and it's clay. It looks very slippery. Whew. I was thinking about turning around. Don't know if I should have or not. The first section I made it down. What I've done is I've engaged both lockers, first gear low range, and I'm trying to stay on the rocks. So I'm hoping that that'll give me a bit of traction. And I've engaged both lockers, so if one wheel loses a bit of traction, hopefully the other side has still got traction and it'll pull me up, keep me straight. Oop, everything's gone flying off the front seat. So far so good. Fog the front window a little bit. I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but they're like little waterfall streams. I've just taken the front locker off because I should be right here. It's slippery. I can feel the front just moving side to side. It felt much nicer with the locker on, but I just need to steer. Well, this part here looks sloshy. Whoop, whoop, oh, and we're sliding. Rookie mistake when you lose traction and start sliding. A lot of people jump on the brake. I've done it as well when I first started. You jump on the brake because you really want the thing to stop. Wrong move. I've got it in first gear, low range, and you just let it slide a little bit. Look, depending on the hill, yeah, but just as a general rule of thumb is it'll slide for a little bit. The wheels are still turning, they're in first gear, low range, so it will finally get some traction. As long as I said, it depends on the hill. There are scenarios where this doesn't apply. If there's a corner, if you're off the wheel ruts, whatever it may be. This is just a generalization, yeah? So you keep the wheels turning, it'll find some traction and it'll pull you up, it'll slow you down. Jeez, these hills are looking so sketchy. Okay, I've turned off my rear locker. I turned it off before, I turned it back on for this hill, but this hill wasn't that bad, so I've just turned it off. No point in using it if I don't need it. And one thing with a locker is, the rear locker, if it's on and you're going down a hill like this, you lose traction, it'll keep the wheels moving at the same momentum and it'll hopefully keep you pointing straight. Which is kind of what you want to do. Stay off the brake as much as you can. Whew. Hopefully all those sections are done, the really steep ones. Going up would be fun. But by myself, I do silly things, but not that silly. I'm not saying that the car can't do it or I can't do it. It's what happens if something goes wrong. Then I'm in trouble. Still driving Warningata, but I've come down Hart Spur track. First time I've ever come down here. And whoa, is it steep. I'm on my seatbelt. Still going down first gear. Had to feather the brakes sometimes. Whoa, that was steep. Lucky, very, very lucky that it's still not raining. So the track's actually pretty reasonable. Sun came out a little bit. So I don't know what's going on. We're supposed to have torrential rain tomorrow, so let's see what happens. But we're about 13 k's away from Warningata station. It's just going to take a long time. Slow going on these tracks. But it's been fun. It's been a long day, but it's been fun. From this track, I'm going to turn into Humphrey River track. And then hopefully we're nearly there. Jeez, I'm yawning away. I've taken my son away a lot with me. So I've been doing boys trips with him. and I don't bring the cameras when I go with him. It's just father-son time. And that's funny because he loves four-wheel driving. He finds it hilarious. But then he just falls asleep. I can't remember which four-wheel drive tracks we were on, but they were decent. They weren't extreme, don't get me wrong, but they were decent, and he fell asleep. Been a bit of damage. A few trees down. Whoop. Whoa, didn't see that. Whoa. Need to pay attention. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tree falling on the track, so people had gone around and didn't even see it. There's a big cutaway under the tyre. Lucky I wasn't going quick. Looking like we're getting into Jurassic Park here, so I'll put the window up because everything's gonna scratch. Oh jeez. I'd say this truck hasn't been driven for a little while. But lucky they're green. Green hopefully won't scratch. Hello. Hello. You go through a couple cattle stations. Just be mindful, be respectful. Yeah, little one. How cute. Oh, yeah. Have to do the right thing, people. It's what keeps these tracks open. It's private property.